It's time for another 3-round mock draft here in the Sportsocracy, live from the Ingles studio. New Orleans Saints, Flostradamus. They got the number 30 overall pick. What are they going to do?
And this is a team that's just really interesting to me because seemingly no matter who I give them, their fans get pissed. I mean, New Orleans needs help on the defensive line, and I think it's interior and on the edge. I would like to get another receiver. I know they have some interest in Hendon Hooker. I just don't really understand it. Why would you want a quarterback that's 6 years younger than your starter? I mean, that's not a developmental prospect for the future.
No.
So, and I want a corner. But Alontae, I get it. I've heard all of you Alontae Taylor people. I understand that. Paulson Adebo is bad. Bad. So I would like to have another one on the outside, him and Lattimore, and then I can play Alontae Taylor in the slot.
So what will they prioritize at 30?
I feel like if there is one of the – because this class is so bad at defensive tackle, I feel like if one of the ones that we all know somehow finds a way to be there at 30, that's who they're going to take. And it just so happens that in this procedure, that's exactly what happened because there is one of them there.
All right, with the number 30 overall pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the New Orleans Saints will select
Kalijah Kancey, defensive tackle out of Pittsburgh.
Okay, so the Aaron Donald clone.
And I hate that comparison so much.
It's the
undersized. They're both short and they went to Pittsburgh. Yeah.
There are a lot of similarities there. You got the undersized pass rushing defensive tackle from the same school. Yeah, there's a lot of comparisons to draw.
All right, give me the after what you just said. Give me the next comparison between the two. Oh, wait, there's not.
There's not one.
Oh, there's not one. Look, I like this kid a lot. I feel like he's been, I'm going to say pigeonholed into he is short, so he's Aaron Donald, and that just really makes me nervous because I don't think he's ever going to be anywhere near that level impactful. Now, what he can do is come in and rush the passer immediately. I think he'll hold up against the run. The reason he's going to get pushed down is because teams have fear of that. But you watch the tape when he was at Pittsburgh, it's not like it was just a disaster. So, I mean, I think he's a 3-down lineman immediately. He cranks up the pass rush, allows you to do some things that you weren't necessarily able to do last year, and would be a great value here at the back end of the first round.
In the second round, pick number 41, they'll get the corner here.
It's Cam Smith, cornerback out of South Carolina. And before you tell me, well, they don't think that's a need, I want you to look at their list of visits and guys they've had in the building. Look at how many corners there are, including Joey Porter Jr., and tell me they don't find that to be a need. They know where this is. And look, I don't love Dennis Allen as a coach. I never have. But there are things that you can do to make this defense better that would more put it in line with what he wants to do. They're going to take a corner. It's just a question of when. Is it going to be this early? Maybe not. Then why are you so – and, I mean, I've been told this from more than one person. They're really high on Joey Porter. He's not going to be there at 30.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're willing to make a move up to get a guy, you're telling me you don't value that to be a need of some kind. I don't buy that. Now, Cam Smith, in terms of talent, is a top 5 corner in this class. And I don't even think it's debatable. The problem is that he's got more personality red flags than a NASCAR race in a rainstorm. And teams talk to him. That's the reason he's been pushed down. You remember when we started this process, he was in the first round of every mock I did because he is that good.
Mm-hmm.
Now he's more in that first 10 to 15 picks of the second day where a team goes, okay, now we're not using the 5th-year option. You're going to get 4 years. There's going to be more on the line for you, and you're going to have to mature. And I feel like the New Orleans Saints are a phenomenal landing spot for him because he does a lot of what Marshawn Lattimore doesn't. So you take Lattimore, who's really good against guys like Mike Evans and big physical receivers. Cam Smith can handle the shiftier guys. The guys that play on the outside, DJ Moore, for example. I know he's not in the division anymore, but a guy like that is who Cam Smith would line up against. There's a little fear that he may not be he may never be a high-end one in this league. That's why you take him at 41.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's a high-end 2.
You have a high-end 1.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have a high-end 1 if I can have the 2 on the outside and then maybe move Paulson Adebo back to the slot.
You know where you need to move Paulson Adebo? To selling hot dogs.
He's not that bad.
How many corners in the NFL graded worse than Paulson Adebo last year?
3.
Just
1.
1. So, I mean, look, you keep putting your fingers in your ears about that. And Alontae Taylor, yeah, he's fine. He is fine. These 2 and Alontae Taylor will give you 3 corners. With the pass rush, I think now defensively you're getting more where you want it to be, more where you tell me that it is, in spite of the fact the defense was not good for large stretches of last year. To me, that's 2 home run picks for New Orleans off the jump.
In the 3rd round, pick number 72.
Now we start the run of receivers that, well, if you want one that's not real tall, pretty fast, and shifty, this is where we start with Tank Dell out of Houston. This kid's not real big, 5'8", $165. But when you get the ball in his hands, good things happen. He did play in kind of that Houston gimmicky offense. So I'm not real sure what his route tree is going to look like. He's a bit of a gadget player off the jump. Kind of, to be honest with you, and I'm not saying this solely because we were just talking about another Tennessee guy a minute ago. He kind of reminds me of Velus Jones when he came out of Tennessee. I'm not real sure how I'm going to get you the ball, but I'm gonna. And when the ball's in your hands, really good things happen. Now, he didn't run as fast as I would have liked for him to. I thought he was going to run in the 4.3s. Throws up a 4.49. You've got all the lesser measurables. That's pushed him down the board. There's just no way for it not to. Was not a highly recruited guy. And so there is a thought that he got into this offense that really caters itself to him. There are only so many people in this world that are this good as a satellite receiver where the ball in your hands, good shit happens. I mean, he had 29 touchdowns at Houston.
Yeah. Had 14 in his last 9 games.
And he's just really good at a lot of things. He's a much better route runner than you usually see guys coming into the league out of offenses like this. I can't tell you he can run an NFL route tree yet. He's just so good, crisp in and out of breaks. There's never a time that that he rounds off routes or anything like that. So I think he can learn an NFL route tree. He is a slot guy. But one thing I'm learning with NFL teams, the Jacksonville Jaguars are drunk in love on 2 slot receivers in this draft. They already have 2. Calvin Ridley's better than a slot. Christian Kirk's better than a slot. You can find ways to make it work. And this is just another weapon for Derek Carr. And this would start the second run. If you're wondering why I didn't take a receiver with the first 2, it's because they were gone. Run had happened right in front of their pick in the first round, and then the Josh Downs, which was the one that was left, was taken in the first 5 picks of the second round.
All right, so you got a defensive tackle in Kalijah Kancey, Cam Smith at corner, and Tank Dell, wide receiver out of Houston.
If you like these picks, if you hate these picks, feel free to throw that in the comments. You can throw me a message on Twitter as well, at ESPN Draft Nerd. We will have the A+ mock draft for the Saints coming out in the next week, and then we will have my final 7-round mock draft that comes out the week of the 2023 NFL Draft before we cover every pick live.
Like this video, share it out with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel as well so you can get all of our coverage of the Draftmas season here in the Sportsocracy. We'll see you next time.